Shalom, Israel. This is Judah J. Just kind of switching it up a little bit today. I'm going to be talking about the 2019-2020 NFL playoffs this time. Here's the bracket right here, AFC, NFC on this side. Of course, you guys know that I think that the NFL is completely rigged, and it's just a sport that is there just to make money. It's a distraction to stop people from realizing what's really going on in the world. It's a distraction to stop you from knowing what's important in the world. But we all watch this thing, or not everybody, but we watch football. It's something we grew up with. So, anyways, so I've been looking at these sports shows, and a lot of the times they predict what's going to happen in these games based off of their commentary in these sports shows. And I'm just trying to test this theory real quick, based off of this playoff bracket. Just see if we'll just see what happens. Over here, I think for the AFC, the wild card weekend, you have the number five Buffalo Bills versus number four Houston Texans. I think the Buffalo Bills are primed to win here because they're so hungry. They haven't been in the playoffs in a very long time. They have a lot of hype up there. Josh Allen, he's playing lights out right now. It seems like he's coming into his own. He's a big, fast quarterback. I mean, he's not super fast, but he can escape from the pocket and he can get some yards with his legs. And I think you're going to need that against, playing on the road against the Houston Texans, which their defense is not. They're not that strong this year. The defensive line is missing people, even though J.J. Watt is coming back. You got to realize he's just coming back from his injury, so he's not going to be 100%. I just don't think the defense has enough, even though they have Watson. He's gonna make some plays. It's gonna be spectacular, but I just don't think they have enough in the running game. They have the great receiving core, or they have a great receiver, but that's pretty much all they have. They're at home, but I think that Buffalo is going to have they're just going to be too much for the Texans. They already played the Patriots tough, already won one against the Patriots, and even though the Patriots in a down year, that's a huge thing to go and beat the Patriots. So regardless of where you play, so I think the Buffalo Bills will win that game. So they'll be the number five seed. Down here, you'll have the number six Titans versus number three Patriots. The Titans, Tannehill's playing great. The offense is clicking. The defense is really good. They're young. I think they have a great scheme for their defense, pressure packages. They play the screen game well for running back screens. They're good on the edges, but I just don't think they can beat the Patriots because this might be Patriots' last run. I think they might break up the band this year. Brady's older, and Belichick may want to test the waters and see what else he can do. Maybe he'll stay in New England or get another new quarterback or whatever he's going to do. But I just think this little dynasty is over, and I think we are all proud about that. But I do think the Patriots, just because of respect for Bill Belichick, I'm saying it's rigged. They're not going to allow the Patriots to lose. I think the Patriots will win here. So the lowest seed goes to play the Chiefs. So the lowest seed in this case would be the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be the Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills, the Ravens versus the New England Patriots. So let's start up here. The number one Baltimore Ravens, Patriots. Now the Baltimore Ravens, yes, they did win earlier on in the year at home against the Patriots. It was a blowout pretty much. Patriots couldn't contest the Ravens. Lamar Jackson was just too strong with his legs. The defense for the Patriots, it was the number one defense in the league for a while. I don't know if they still are now, but Lamar Jackson is coming into his own, and I think that the league is really trying to prop him up to build him into one of the next great quarterbacks. And so, even though Brady and Belichick, this long storied historic run of that was of course produced by cheating and all kind of other nefarious evil agendas, I think that they're not going to be able to beat the Ravens. I think it's time. They feel like it's time to let the Patriots go into the wind. Of course, you guys know me in this channel. The Patriots stand for America. America's having some issues picking fights with everybody, so they're just primed to try to, be off of the top powerful countries in the world. So just like the Patriots, just like America, the Patriots are going to the Patriots are losing this game. So you can take that any way you want it. So the Baltimore Ravens will win this game, and they'll move to the AFC Championship. Okay, so next we're going to have the number two Kansas City Chiefs against the number five Buffalo Bills. This shouldn't even be a game because this is not going to be close at all. This is probably going to be one of the blowouts on Wild Card Weekend. They wanted King make Mahomes. And if you saw the handshake between him and Tom Brady back last year at the end of that AFC Championship, it looked like more than a handshake to me. It was like a passing of the torch. It was sort of like Tom Brady saying, "Yeah, we got this game, and this game was supposed to be for us to fulfill my 6 championships, that number of the beast. But you guys will, of course, be the team now on because you have been handpicked. You are the chosen one, Mr. Mahomes." So Mr. Mahomes and the number 2 seeded Kansas City Chiefs will go against the Bills. They'll have way too much offense. The defense will come alive. Of course, they're playing in Kansas City, and that crowd is going to be out of control. I don't think Josh Allen is going to be able to handle all that noise, just that environment. The Buffalo Bills, they made it past the first round. It's gonna, that's a feel good story. They haven't been there in a long time. So, but their offense, this just doesn't have enough firepower to deal with this doesn't have enough firepower to stay with Mahomes. So this might be, I think, the blowout of the AFC wild card weekend. So the Kansas City Chiefs will move to the AFC Championship versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, of course, you have the MVP, which is Will Lamar Jackson will win the MVP this year for the Baltimore Ravens, but he's going against Mahomes, and he's the king, man. They've kinged him. He is the next Brady. He is the next great player they're trying to prop up. Now, of course, Mr. Mahomes is a great quarterback. He has all the intangibles. He has the it factor. He has everything. And so, you would say, you're going against the MVP, and Mahomes is playing well, but is he playing better than Lamar Jackson? You would say no, but because of the fact that this game is rigged and they have to have the outcomes they want for whatever weird reason they want it for, other than of course the Patriots because they stand for America and America's about to fall, and so the Patriots got to fall. And so, anyways, so in this AFC Championship, the Baltimore Ravens against the Chiefs, it'll be in Baltimore. It's going to be a great game. One of the best games of the whole playoffs will be the Ravens versus the Chiefs. Great offense. You'll see both quarterbacks perform on the MVP level. The crowd will be absolutely out of their minds. But in the end, because of the fact they've king make Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, he's going to be satisfied with the MVP. They had a great year. Baltimore is going to be a threat throughout the years. Y'all willing? There is years left. But this is Mahomes, and this is his time since he threw they lost that game last year to the Patriots, which they were supposed to win, and everybody knew they were supposed to win. That was just setting them up for that was their sacrifice, so to speak. So now they're going to be the team, and the Patriots are done. Good written goodbye. So now the Chiefs are the AFC representative to go to the Super Bowl, and I will have the NFC side in just one moment. Okay, moving along to the NFC side, we're going to have on Wild Card Weekend the number 5 Seahawks versus the number 4 Philadelphia Eagles. And this is a rematch game from the regular season, both being played, of course, in Philadelphia. The Seahawks have just been devastated by a whole bunch of injuries on both sides of the ball. All their starting running backs are gone. They had to get running backs from off the couch as far as the great Marshawn Lynch. They have the rookie Travis Homer from the Miami Hurricanes. They don't have anything else. So their offense is depleted. Hollister is pretty much the only reliable, healthy receiver that we have. Of course, we have Metcalf, but he's young. Is this moment too big for him? He's a rookie. He does have a propensity of dropping passes that I've noticed in clutch moments to sustain drives. But he is, of course, gonna. You can just tell he has a lot of talent, and he's fast, and he's a problem for shorter defensive backs. But I just think that we can't rely on a rookie in this game. We need somebody proven. Lockett hasn't really seemed the same since he got hurt in San Francisco on that Sunday night game. And so, if we have to rely on Lockett to be able to carry the offense and to be the go-to receiver, we may have a problem there. So, Hollister's been one of the go-to guys for Russell Wilson, but come on, guys, he is a tight end, and as far as being just like somebody that's going to just make the offense go, I really don't think we can rely on him that much. As far as we go over to the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, they have a great rush defense. They have Ingram and Cox, and they can get to the quarterback. And of course, Seattle's offensive line is depleted. The whole dang team is depleted. So if Seattle's going to win this game, Russell Wilson's going to have a great game. Beast mode. I hope a week past the first game he came back that he has his legs a little bit more under him. Maybe he can be used more in the scheme. Maybe he's a little bit more familiar with the playbook. I don't know. I mean, I really hope that this is just one of those things, since I told you it's rigged, where they want Marshawn Lynch to, show out for the ratings because, on the East Coast, this is going to, of course, you're going to have the East Coast watching because Philadelphia is playing. But, if you want a national audience to have Beast Mode do well, having people hear, oh, Beast Mode's showing out, they'll turn over to that game. So, um, in the end, I think that this game's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Russell Wilson is going to have to make a lot of plays in order to make this happen. And you never know. You might see Beast Mode do something special. I'm giving this to Seattle. Seattle's going to win this game, and they're going to move to the next round. Down here, you're going to have the number 6 Minnesota Vikings versus number 3 Saints. I think that because of what happened with last year in the playoffs, where the Saints got jobbed on that pass interference, and of course, because I told you it's rigged, they foreshadowed that with the Seahawks 49ers game when that pass interference happened in the same way. It was an egregious pass interference. There was last year there was no way to overturn the pass interference call. Of course, this year there was, but they showed you it doesn't matter about what you see with your eyes. It just depends. It just matters on what they want. So even if you see the truth and you know that the truth is right in front of your face, they're showing the world through their football games and their media. It doesn't matter what the truth looks like. They will promote the lie anyway. So that's what they did. But because of what happened last week with the Seahawks 49ers, they were foreshadowing that actually the Saints were going to win this game. So because of what happened, they got your mind thinking about what happened to the Saints last year. Now they're going to give the Saints some love. The people that make rig these games, and all those higher ups or whatever, they're going to let the Saints give them a lot of calls that they're going to need to win this game, even though and it's going to be close because a lot of people probably think the Saints are going to just blow the Vikings out just because it's in New Orleans. But this is going to be a pretty close game. This game is going to be close, but of course, Drew Brees, he's going to show out. He's going to have a lot of yards. It's going to be a very high scoring game. Him and Kirk Cousins, it's going to be a very high scoring game, but the Saints are going to win this game. So you're going to have the Saints win this game, and it's going to be they're the number 3 seed, so they're going to be higher than the Seahawks. So they'll go up and play the 49ers in Santa Clara. The Seahawks will go down and play the Packers in Lambeau. So let's start up here. The 49ers versus the Saints. Now, last time, of course, it was a classic. The 49ers beat the Saints. It was a barn burner. A lot of points scored. The 49ers showed Jimmy G that, with Jimmy G that he can actually command an offense and make the plays on time, making 2 fourth down plays, 4th and 16 plays, back to back. It was just amazing. So he proved that he can actually perform in the high moments. The defense, of course, is absolutely boss this year. They have Kittle on the offense. You can't even tackle this guy. So their offense is good. Their defense is good. They're there. Now you also so the Saints, they're coming in to play in Santa Clara. You would say, okay, home field advantage is, going to be one of the big reasons why they would lose this game. But I really do believe that this is not going to be as easy as people think. I think this is going to come down to the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. I think that Drew Brees he's gonna get sacked early on in the game. It's going to seem like the 49ers defense is too much. They'll make some really good hype plays in the beginning of the game, but in the end, it'll be a comeback by the Saints. But it's just the 49ers just have too much. They're not gonna allow the first seeded team at the team that of course the NFL's been trying to pump up the whole year for whatever reason why they do the things they do. Other than the Patriots, of course, we know why, because they're America and they have to fall because America's falling. But anyways, the 49ers, They've been propped up the whole year. They jobbed the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West Championship because they want this team to win. So I think that the 49ers will move out of the second round. They'll defeat the New Orleans Saints. It will be close, but they're going to get it done. Come down here to the Packers versus the Seahawks. I really believe now. So this is the hardest. I think this is the hardest game to call because the Seahawks are depleted. They have nothing on both sides of the ball other than Russell Wilson, and who are you going to throw it to? That's going to be reliable. That's going to be able to perform in big moments. And the offensive line's depleted. The defense is garbage this year. They do have some players coming back as far as Diggs and Javion Clowney, but that's pretty much it. And they even have some physical problems. So you would say that the Packers are going to just completely beat up on the Seahawks. You would say it's in Lambeau. It's going to be cold. Aaron Rodgers and Jones, the running back. This game is going to be very interesting. It is going to come down to the very end. So now you would say, how do I decide who's going to win between the Packers and the Seahawks? Of course, I think that I know the games are rigged. So they're basically trying to find out what the best storyline would be. What's the best ratings, of course, storyline wise. All that has to be taken into consideration. Are the viewers going to view the Packers against the 49ers or the Seahawks versus the 49ers? Now, because it's Lambeau, I think that the bookies will put their money on the Packers because, well, they'll make us believe they're going to put it on the Packers because it's in Lambeau, it's cold, it might even snow, and you're facing Aaron Rodgers, and you would say, why would they have the Packers lose in their first in the divisional round? I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think the Seahawks are going to win because it's a better matchup as far as ratings because of the two games that they've already had versus the 49ers. Plus, I was watching, like I told you before, the sports shows throughout the week tell you what's going to happen, and everyone from the Seahawks seemed to say, "Oh yeah, we'll play them again." I've noticed a lot of different people saying that same thing. Oh, we'll play those guys again. I'm not worried about it. We'll play them again. My thought is, when are you going to play him again? How do you know you're going to play him again? This is the playoffs. How are you going to just automatically say, oh, you're going to play them again? And you got to go through the playoffs. Plus, teams don't normally do that because it makes the other team get hype, and they'll probably have a better chance of beating you because they'll put that poster in their locker room and say, oh, yeah, they just said they was going to beat that team. So that doesn't make no sense to me. So I'm thinking that it's going to come down once again to the fourth quarter. I think that the Packers are going to score first, of course. They're going to get the crowd behind them. But Seattle's going to hang around, and they're going to get it done. The Seahawks are going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship. So the NFC Championship, we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers in Santa Clara. This game is only there because of the two past games they've already had, high ratings. Everybody much knows what to expect. We have a great storyline. Can the Seahawks actually beat Goliath? Everyone knows the Seahawks are not as good as the 49ers, but that's a great storyline. And also, you have the storyline from 2013 back. So we're going to go back to 2013. You have all the same. You have Marshawn Lynch. He's on the Seahawks. You have Richard Sherman. He's on the 49ers. There's all of this nostalgia that's coming around this game. And you have the storyline. Can the Seahawks, overcome Goliath because they don't have the players with him? Also, Marshawn Lynch, can he, come back to form and be beast mode from the past? You have all of these different caveats, different narratives that you can put on this game. And that's the reason why I didn't choose the Packers to win because there's really no storyline. I mean, Aaron Rodgers wins. Who cares? It's not like he's nearing the end of his career. Well, he's not nearing the end of his career, so it's not like, oh yeah, can Aaron Rodgers win another championship? That's not that year. That's later. Y'all willing that there's time. So, anyways, the 49ers, they will play this game. It'll be fever paced at the beginning. Their offense is going to actually score first. The Seahawks are going to score. It's not going to be a thing where the Seahawks just don't score and it's going to take a long. It's going to be scoring back and forth, back and forth. I think, and that's for the ratings because they want the league to go the way of offense. And so in this primetime game, it's not going to be like as as viewer friendly to have a defensive struggle game. That's okay for the regular season, but for this playoff game, it's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. Marshawn Lynch will score. He's going to look like Marshawn Lynch of old. Beast mode is going to look just like that, and that's going to give a lot for the commentators. A lot of different feel good moments are going to happen in this game. You're going to have Richard Sherman probably having a lot of camaraderie with a lot of the different Seahawks players. But anyways, this game's going to go back and forth. It's going to be a lot of different lead changes. And at the end of the game, it's gonna be something that happens. It's not gonna be like this as close. I mean, it's not gonna be like as controversial as this last week in the NFC West Championship. But there will be something that's gonna happen that's gonna make you feel like, oh my gosh, one of these teams are gonna get screwed, right? But in the end, regardless of what happens, the 49ers are going to win this game. They cannot have the Seattle Seahawks win this game. That would not be good for the ratings. The Seattle Seahawks, no one believes they should be there in the first place, and the only reason why they're there is because they need the storyline. And the storyline's better to have a David versus Goliath. You always have to have a David versus Goliath. That brings the most ratings. So in the Super Bowl, it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this game, I mean, once again, you have the Chiefs. We're not in Kansas anymore. Remember that, because this is basically what they do as far as these satanic elites. That's the whole. We're not in Kansas anymore. What was that? The Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. They're trying to make you believe that we're not in Kansas anymore. We're not in America. The America that we know is not the America anymore that we know. It's not the same place as it used to be. We're not in Kansas anymore. Remember that. Remember that. Kansas City is going to win this game. Kansas City is going to be Super Bowl champions based off of what happened with the Patriots. Because the Patriots stand for America. America's looking like they're going to fall, basically, right? Because of all the upheaval in this country, it's Bible prophecy, the great Babylon's supposed to fall. I know you're saying, what in the world is he associating the Bible with this football game? You guys have to, if you see my channel, you know what I'm talking about. America stands for Babylon. Right now, the Patriots, they never lose. They're always winning. They're the great team. Nothing you could do can stop the Patriots. Same thing as America. Obadiah, they look like they'll never fall. Babylon says they'll never fall down. They'll go to the stars. He says, I'll bring them down from the stars. I'll take them off of their perch. The Patriots stand for America. America's falling. Patriots fell. We're not in Kansas anymore, are we? But yeah, we are in Kansas, because regardless of what the San Francisco 49ers defense does, they got as far as they were supposed to go. They're the number one seed. Good for you, San Francisco, but you got to play Mahomes, the kingmaker. They king him. He's the next great quarterback that, even though he's good, he needs help, just like Brady did with the refs and all that. That whole thing is predicated off of this Patriot game. Kansas City's Super Bowl champ. Shalom.